All right. So yeah, this is again Phase 9 to 5 workers versus streamer debate. What is harder? I don't. This is like I don't feel like okay. Before we even get into this, right? I don't. I genuinely feel like this should be like there should be too much of a comparison between streaming and 9 to 5 working, due to the fact that like it's both work. Like they're both career field. You know what I'm saying? They're both like career based things. They're both jobs at the end of the day. You have to put in a certain amount of effort or time into any job you do, regardless, even if you want the job or not. If you like the job or not, you still have to put in that time and effort into the job in order to get paid, in order to, you know what I'm saying, provide. So I genuinely feel that there shouldn't be a question of which is harder, because no matter, even if you say like, because 9 to 5 is so broad to where it's like streaming is just for them. It's like streaming is streaming. It's like a broad statement as well, because there are like smaller streamers or people who do it as hobbies, aka me. And you got the professional people who like genuinely do it. And you got the businesses that kind of do it now, etc., etc. But 9 to 5 is such a broad, like general topic of statement to say, like, you know what I'm saying, for work, and the amount of career fields that would fall under that category is like, exponentially greater than how you can break down streaming. It's like I don't feel like it should be, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, it's like, okay, so 9 to 5 is typically like, okay, you are employed by a company, you're working, 9 to 5 typically. Um and you get paid either, you know what I'm saying, you get paid your hourly wages, and then boom. Um as far as streaming, it's a bit more, it's obviously a lot more free to an extent. Um like a lot of bigger streamers stream as often as they do solely due to the fact that it's like, if I don't really stream, yes, I still make money, but I won't, like, be, it's like the amount of money. It's, I don't know how to explain. Like, it's a little weird, I guess. But to sit here and say a 9 to 5 is harder than streaming is a little, you know, like, cause I honestly feel like, cause I would like, yeah, people be like, oh, you just sit down all day and just do this and do that. Not necessarily, cause I'm basically sitting down right now doing this and that, and not really, not, you know what I'm saying, not being as creative or doing the most or whatever the case may be to, you know what I'm saying, entertain you guys. Like, I'm really just kind of like, I do it as a hobby. But to people who are like, I've definitely been at the point where like I was trying to make it a career, and the things that kind of go into it, it's like it's not as easy as people make it seem out to be. People make it seem like, I feel like people like look at it or shun people who say streaming is harder than a 9 to 5. Sit here and like they think that to be a streamer, all it takes is for you to sit down, click go live, post your little clips, and that's it. Like, you're not really doing nothing. You're not putting in no effort. It's like the easiest thing in the world, and that's not the case. I'm also not saying that it's like super hard. It is, but like I'll especially when you're smaller. Um, I feel like, no, actually, when you're like you've kind of grown a little bit, because it's like when you're smaller, you can kind of get away with a lot more stuff. You can kind of get away with not streaming as much, or et cetera, to an extent. But once you get bigger, it's like a lot more eyes on you. You're watched a lot more. You can't really fuck up that much, or really at all. And so it becomes a lot harder to like sustain yourself in that spot you're trying to be in the spot that you're in, or grow, due to the fact that like it's hella niggas watching you, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if we look at if we go from 9 to 5s to where like we go to like fast food work and stuff like that, fast food work is definitely taxing on the body and stuff like that. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's like harder than streaming. I'd say it's definitely similar, because you got to kind of keep, you have upkeep, but there are a lot of like, there are positions in 9 to 5 like jobs where you don't really talk as much, or I mean, in like fast food jobs where you don't talk as much, so you might be on the grill where you just cooking. and you chilling or whatever. Yes, it's hot. Yes, it's and I'm not negating the fact that like that job is hard. Um, but I also want to sit here and say that it's like necessarily easier to stream. And I kind of put those. I kind of put streaming for 9 to 5. I'd kind of put streaming as like a fast food job to an extent, right? Like because okay, the only thing is because like when you stream or you trying to be a streamer, you're trying to grow as a streamer, you have to one be mad consistent. You have to be very, very, very consistent, right? Something I like. You have to be very consistent at it. Number two, you have to like as far as streaming, you don't ever grow just on Twitch itself. Like that's like the rarest case of someone blowing up. You have to post, content outside of streaming. And then you also have to come up with content ideas. You have to execute those ideas properly. You have to learn these things that like would aid you in entertaining your audience whenever you find that audience. To where it's like I don't know. I wouldn't say like again streaming is like the easiest thing in the world, but it's definitely like it's a lot that goes into it that people like try to like say like negate or be like, all you do is sit down. You get paid to sit down and just do whatever, but you gotta understand that people. It took people a lot of people like mad long on time and effort and energy to get to the point to where now they because I feel like a lot of people look at streaming and they like look at the biggest streamers. They look at the niggas who's already made it, who's making all the money, etc. etc. And they look at them and they be like, "Oh, all y'all do is sit down on stream and bullshit all day." And it's like to an extent, yes, a lot of them still do like actual content. They still plan things that's like creative, whatever. Um, but yeah, you can't sit here and say you can kind of sit there and say like, oh, they just stream or they just go live and do whatever they want to do and get a lot of money from it. But what people don't also look at as is like the growth pattern that the effort and energy it took for them to get to the point where they at now to now they can kind of do that. Um, there's still a lot of streamers who like they might be a streamer who just play games, and so niggas like have to play games. And playing a game isn't the hardest thing in the world, but you do get there's a point in life where you be like, nigga, I don't want to play the game, but that's what you niggas like to watch, so you have to do that. So I don't know. I'm gonna see what they say, but yeah, that's kind of my like first thoughts coming in.
How are you gonna disrespect your mom like that,
she
dude?
is right now.
You're gonna disrespect your mom and say that your work is harder? That is so rude.
All right, can I talk?
Hairspray.
Listen, so your whole
So
thing.
it's dangerous.
Listen, bet.
Your
Just
job
chill,
is
chill.
You
would have to go to work.
You can't leave
Went to school, and still.
and paid rent.
Yes, I still worked.
That's your choice.
You're high. You're hungover.
Credentials are playing video games. I play video games on my spare
I
time.
don't even enjoy streaming.
I feel like these niggas is finna troll. I feel like these niggas is finna troll, but fuck it.
What's up? How's it going?
Same old different day.
They got Lacey. Okay, he's a mail carrier. You know what I'm saying? His job is definitely hard, but like I feel like his job also is like that nigga can kind of chill. Like he can listen to music, he can talk on the phone if he need to. He delivering packages. Unless I'm thinking of mail carrier wrong. I'm not saying that job is the easiest thing in the world because sometimes you gotta lift up some shit because niggas be ordering anything. But yeah.
Okay, all right. So my argument here is that
Lacey has cultivated us since.
streaming and social media creation is harder than a 9-to-5.
Nah, it's not facts, bro. 9 to 5 is way harder, homie.
Why do you say that?
Because you gotta get up every motherfucking day, go to the motherfucking bullshit job, and slave for fucking pennies.
Okay, right? What this nigga just said. At that point, right? Yes, there are people who like, there's a lot of people who are in situations to where they have to work 9 to 5 jobs that they don't necessarily want to work. They kind of have to do it to put food on the table, etc., etc. There are also like mad career jobs that require you to work 9 to 5, right? My thing is, I feel like it would have been a bit better for them to get people who have like career jobs because because streaming is like a hobby that you can turn into a career at some point, right? if you're going against people who like working at fast food, they don't want to work at fast food. They don't want to go there. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. Like it's times where obviously it's times when niggas don't want to stream and they stream that day or whatever. But like I feel like it's way different from like when somebody is kind of like somebody feel like, hey, I have to work in this. I have to work these jobs or this job to like put food on the table because this is what I can get right now. But I feel like the people who like are in a career field that they enjoy to an extent should have been more the target for this question.
See, that's the
If that
thing.
makes sense.
Is you're right.
Because you kind of have bias to the fact to where it's like, damn, I gotta get up, I gotta work this job, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I don't even want to do this, but I gotta make, I gotta provide, I gotta sustain for my life. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. It's like your bias is more on, even though I don't want to do this shit, I kind of have to, and it's like, fuck this. If I could stream, I would. Right? That's kind of their narrative, their thing. It's like if I could just not go to this job and do what I want to, then I would. But at the same time, it's like you just have to work for that. And I feel like again, people negate the work and effort that it took to get to the point of streaming you are in. I'm not also saying that streaming is harder, but like any career that you're trying to get into is more than likely gonna take some effort, some real like genuine passion into, time into doing what you want to do. So like you going against, so it's like he going against a nigga who already just don't like working his job anyway. So he finna sit here and say, oh, it's harder simply due to the fact that I hate my job. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's a bit biased, but I kind of,
Right. You get up every day. You go through the motions. You don't have to get a good night's sleep. You don't have to be focused. You don't have to be locked in. You wake up. You go. You flip some patties. Maybe you sign a few envelopes, answer a few phone calls. With streaming and social media creation, you have to be on your game 24/7. It's like a switch that never
when you're a
turns
mail
off.
carrier, I'm a mail carrier, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. I get treated like shit every motherfucking day.
So why are you selling a job? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be ignorant as to like say you could just leave. You know what I'm saying? Because mail carriers make good money. They why haven't you? Is that what you wanted to do with your life? Is that the career you wanted to be? Is that the profession you wanted? Which from the sound of it, no. And so it's like, why aren't you working towards doing what you want to do? And I feel like it's like you're kind of shunning the people that did that kind of was like, hey, I want to do this thing, so I'm gonna like work and do it, and they kind of like they seen success in it, and you're shunning those people because it's like you feel like you can't do the same what you can. It's just gonna definitely take mad work. It's like not easy at all, but I feel like you kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to like, I don't want to be ignorant, but I'm also going to speak my mind. But it's just like,
We
That's
have to
still
deal with
slavery
thousands,
every day.
tens of thousands of people
Bullshit.
critiquing every little thing we do, every
Man.
decision we make, every thought we
You guys
have.
got it made, man. I wish I had
We
it made
don't-
like y'all.
we don't have to
but see, look, okay, you see what he's saying? The word that he's using. Y'all haven't made, I wish I had it made like y'all. So again, it's like people look at like, big streamers or people who like made it or whatever. They look at them and they go, damn, you like got handed this opportunity to see and you didn't have to work for it and you didn't have to do this and didn't do that, when that's not the case. Lacey had 2 jobs. He was working 2 jobs while in school and he was streaming. You get what I'm saying? So it's like he didn't like just go from, oh, he was a kid chilling one day and then he just started streaming and then now all of a sudden he making good money. Like, and you know what I'm saying? They didn't go like that. It's definitely a lot harder. It's definitely like a lot harder than people make it seem out to be. Again, not necessarily saying that it's harder than a 9 to 5, but you can't negate the work and the effort and the like time and all of that it takes to be like influencer. Well, I wouldn't even necessarily say influencer, but like a top streamer or a top YouTuber or whatever the case may be. If that makes sense.
Go
Wish.
sign a few envelopes and put them in a mailbox.
Man,
We
you
have
got
to
it
be,
gravy, bro.
What's the next trend?
Because
What's the
the
next
shit I
idea?
go through every
Oh my
day.
God, I have to
got
stream
dogs,
today.
And I got dogs that want to bite my ass
And
every
you have
day.
lunch breaks. You have lunch breaks. We don't have breaks. We're on 24/7.
that's another thing too. Like, yeah, you do have to like entertain for 24/7. And niggas be like, oh, you're sitting at, I ain't doing this and doing that. Yeah, but like on your break, you don't got a nigga watching your ass the whole time. Like you can just go on break. You know what I'm saying? Well, not just go on break, but like you know what I'm saying. And then him as a mirror carrier, the dog issue. Yes, the dogs is an issue, but again, if you really hate that shit so bad, why aren't you working as hard, if not harder, to get out of that situation? You get what I'm saying? Like again, not saying you don't like this. Is not saying that like it's that easy to just kind of switch, but you definitely like just nigga just put in the effort to you know what I'm saying. Like I feel like a lot of the older generation they say that we don't like to work, which and it's like I feel like they get. I feel like they are like. I feel like that kind of comes from a place to where like they be like, y'all don't want to go and do the things like do like get a job and say and like just deal with it rather than like y'all are attempting to like do something that we didn't want to do. I, I I don't know what the fuck I just said. I'm not gonna lie, that shit didn't make no sense. But I feel like it's a bit of a hatred or envy because like a lot of like younger people nowadays are actually doing the things that they want to do or are like pursuing, you know, like dreams that they had in their head and they are actually like, you know, turning those into their reality. And a lot of older people are kind of like a little envious or a little because they feel like, or the way that they grew up, it was like you have to get this job if you didn't go here, if you didn't go to school, if you didn't do this, you have to get this job, you have to do this, you have to do that. And you have to just like, you know, just do what you got to do. And now it's a little more like people to an extent are like kind of doing the things that they want to do. And so I don't know, like that whole like the whole argument that like I hate my job, but I got to get up and go here every day. But at the excuse me, but at the same time, I'm not like doing anything to put myself in a better position or get out of this job and go actually do something that I really want to do that I know I'm gonna enjoy. It's like a little, it's a tad bit ignorant, just a tad bit.
You got high energy, 24/7.
I wish I could be at home like you and get back and get paid
I don't
big
even.
money.
We're not even at home. We're walking around.
Man,
We're walking
I
around
wanna
doing
do
things,
all of
going
that
to.
because-
And see, look, that's the thing, the ideology of I'm just sitting at home, kicking back and making good money. It's a lot of niggas who work at home. Let's start there. It's a lot of IT jobs. It's a lot of like, you know what I'm saying, customer service jobs where niggas dead ass work at home. It's niggas who get on their phone, get on their little earpiece, cut it on or whatever, be like, yeah. Kind of like, you know, lackadaisical, and they get paid. Yes, it's not as much. Yes, it's not the same. But like also, these niggas wasn't making this amount of money the like entire time. They didn't just start streaming one day and was started making 100K a month, etc., at the very beginning of them streaming. Like that's not how that work.
Parties, doing
The
all this
shit,
stuff.
I gotta slave just for not even 100,000 a year. I gotta work double overtime. Bullshit.
Okay, what about this? You're guaranteed to get paid. You have
No, I'm
a
not.
steady rate.
If I don't work, I don't get paid. It's simple as that.
Yeah, but you have.
That's the same. It's the same thing. So like with streaming, right? If you're doing YouTube, then it's different, and a lot of streamers upload their videos on YouTube and TikTok and stuff like that. But if you're solely streaming for the most part, you don't make money when you're not live on Twitch. That's how Twitch works. Once you live, well, like once you get off Twitch and you're not live, that's pretty much it. Like the amount of money you can make from there is like pretty much zero. On YouTube, yeah, you can like post a YouTube video and or even if you go live on YouTube, the initial live or the initial video or the initial like day you upload, you might not make that much, but as time goes on, you know that the revenue or increase, it'll accrue more value over time. But like again, he sit here and say I go work, I slave. If I don't work, I don't get paid. But that's the same thing for these niggas. If they don't work, they don't get paid. And it's like they still and like yeah, you can like you can like say that oh well you know you can upload a video and then it's getting you know what I'm saying money etc over time. But I still have to put in that work to get the video done, get it edited or whatever the case may be, and then upload it. And now I can get, you know, so I can, you know, get the money from it, etc over time after I've uploaded and after I put in the work. So the like I'm trying to figure out what he talking about. Like, is he talking about like y'all don't work and y'all still get paid? Like that's not how that works. I don't think nobody on I don't think nobody really like doesn't work and you just get paid unless you're like getting fed money from like your parents or something like that. Um, or like like the nepo babies, etc., etc. But like if you're a streamer or a content creator, it's the same thing. If you're not working, if you're not making content, if you're not doing this and doing that, you're not getting paid. That's just how it works.
Have a guaranteed pay.
Guaranteed pay if you work.
And that's another thing too. When you sign that W-2 form, you're working a job, and they say, "Hey, this is your hourly wages, etc., etc." Yeah, they can kind of fire you at any time, and yeah, you can like work a job and then they don't pay you. But then that one leads to question why you still at the job. Number two, you can then sue and get more money because they haven't paid you and they're legally obligated to pay you. You literally signed the contract. You know what you signed up for. You're gonna get paid. If you're working these hours, you're gonna guaranteed get paid for whatever, the amount of hours you worked, etc. Obviously taxes come out and stuff like that. But yeah.
It's your decision if you don't want to work.
I gotta work at the job for
If
years.
I don't go live, I don't get paid either.
You don't got to deal with people spamming L's.
Yes.
This nigga adapt, bro. This nigga adapt, bro. Okay, that's nigga. He's
People in the chat spamming L's. Oh, this is bullshit. We don't like
yeah, they trolling.
You have to create content. Imagine you have to be high energy. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? You guys like this stream?
That's me 24/7. I'd rather do that.
So why don't you become a streamer?
Man, that's what I want to do.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking, bro. It's literally just envy. It's envy at the end of the day. Like it's envy to an extent. Like it's envy to an extent. Like they dead ass. Like it's like they look at it and they like, damn, you actually like doing the thing you said you was gonna do. You actually doing your dream. You have your dream job, etc. Like you put in the work and got there. I want to get there too, but it's like I feel like I can't. I feel like I can't do it because I got this job. I don't want to work. Like they make up excuses for themselves. Like I do the same thing. Not gonna lie. When especially like, well, mainly when I used to procrastinate OD, but like now I kind of just do the things. But it's like, you see what I'm saying? This nigga said, nigga, I want to, so do it. But then again, niggas will be like, I want to try the streaming thing out, and then they do a few streams. They got like 0, 1, maybe 5 viewers, and they understand that it's not as easy as like just click and go live and then now you're viral. Like that's not at work, and so then they be like, oh no, I'm not doing this no more. It sucks. It's not. You know what I'm saying? They just lying or whatever. They botting views, etc. And then like they go back to their. Yeah, y'all don't be seeing my note. I have a sign up. And then like, you know what I'm saying? They kind of go into the whole. Now then they kind of go back to their job and they be like, this is harder than a 9 to 5, than a streamer. Nah. Nigga, yeah, I want to say it's like harder, but they're both like, I feel like they both have like their equal challenges.
That's me 24/7. I'd rather do that.
So why don't you become a streamer?
Man, that's what I want to do. That does not define shit.
If streaming is so easy, how come every single person in this seat is not a streamer?
People are lazy. They want to put in the work.
That's their fault.
So what the? I ain't gonna lie. What are we talking
I
about?
get called fat all the time.
Oh, so what? I get called fat and chubby. I'm a
Okay, Ron.
Homeboy,
This
it's called me
nigga Ron
Chubby
Ron is a
Fat,
professional
whatever.
troll. I don't know if I'll take that nigga
Homeboys, I'm
serious.
a homeboy.
Yeah, and you right, homeboy, you right. But check this out. My nigga, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go out there and get that bag.
I think she's got something she wants to say.
Oh my gosh, wait, we're seeing a flag.
Unfortunately, these flags are actually useless. We decided to use a timer instead because we suck at explaining things.
So you raised your flag. Is there a reason you did
Yeah,
that?
because I was actually a cook for 15 years.
chef,
So that means
okay.
for 15 years, I had to get up practically every day, get dressed, go to work, and I had to deal with not only adults, but
I think the thing that they're like that they can't conceptualize in their head is the fact that like you're not getting up and going to work. You're getting up and you're like in your room or at the crib and then you're working there. I feel like that's what it is. Because everybody that's came up so far, it's only been 2 people, but they say you don't have to get up in the morning and go to work and do this and do that. which again, these are things y'all kind of choose to do. Yes, sometimes or in certain circumstances, you kind of have to like, do what you got to do. But again, if there's something you want to do, like she's saying she was a chef. A lot of people who are chefs want to kind of like, I don't want to say a lot, but for the most part, you kind of want to get into the field. That's like a dream job. That's like a career field. You get into that job, it's definitely hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not easy. Like, niggas think it's easy cooking food. And no, the fuck it's not. Or being a chef, like, it's definitely a difficult task. But I think that they're, like, in their head, they can't grasp the concept of, like, you're not necessarily getting up as early or getting up to go to work and then, do your job and then come home. And, you know what I'm saying? I think that's
But I
the thing.
also had to deal with children.
We deal with children every day, too.
We deal with tens of
Like,
thousands.
these niggas is capping. Well, they do deal with children on the internet. It's definitely a lot different in person if you have kids. But she can't. I feel like that's an unfair argument to bring up because there are people who create content who have kids. Um, and if her argument is the fact that like, oh, I had to get up and go to work and still deal with like kids that I was taking care of, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's just kind of like a life thing. Like, you're gonna have to at some point do your work and then still do what, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people nowadays are like, I won't say a lot of people nowadays, but like people who are streaming or do content or whatever, for the most part, they tend to have their kids later in their careers after they're like super established, etc. So it's like, I don't know. I'm gonna see. I gotta see.
Thousands of children and adults.
The Lacey Thugs are. Do you not know who the Lacey Thugs are?
I can't go out in public without 10 kids coming up and asking for a picture. You know how hard that is of a life?
Isn't that
That is
special?
difficult.
How long do you think this is going to last?
Forever.
That's another thing. They sit here and say how long y'all think it's gonna last, this streaming stuff. Like, which it very much well like can be true, right? But at the same time, right, because I feel like they saying a lot of jobs get replaced by AI, technology, etc. Then it's like, I don't.
Forever.
Do you think this
Hopefully.
is going to last forever?
I hope so. You just proved my point for me. I don't have that security that's going to last forever. Having a job, being
That's
a
why
cook.
A 9 to 5 is generally more secure than streaming because it offers steady income, benefits, and legal protections, while streaming is unpredictable, highly competitive, and income depends on viewer support and algorithms. Yeah, a 9 to 5 is a lot more like a secure, safer job than streaming because you get benefits like health benefits, etc. You get the stability of a steady, consistent income. You get legal protection, a lot of that, etc., etc. With streaming, it's like a business to an extent. So like your income is hella unpredictable. You don't like not a lot of people make steady income when they stream. You have super high highs and super low lows. Um, Streaming in itself is highly competitive, which it is. A lot of job markets are competitive, so it's like hard to get into. So that statement right there is kind of like, it's for both. Like both are competitive. And your income depends on your viewer support and so an algorithm. So that's another thing. If you aren't a streamer who's getting X amount of views, X amount of, whatever the case, you're not making as much. And in order to make these astronomical amounts of money, you have to like be pulling in hella views. You got to be giving niggas a reason to support you and give you them your money to support your life. If that makes sense.
Gotta grind.
You have that security of, I have a job, I have a degree, I have this. This could end for me tomorrow.
Hypothetically, if you all of a sudden you lost all your followers, what would you do?
I know what he'll do. Get up.
No, I'm asking
Trigger
him.
warning.
I'm asking him. What would you
Job.
do if you lost completely all your YouTubers?
These niggas is trolling.
You had nothing. No one watched you anymore. I didn't even watch you anymore. What would you have to do? You would have to go to work.
But then that begs the question: how do you think that going to work is easier? If you can always, no matter what, even if like the internet goes and like streaming and YouTube and all of that, like, you know what I'm saying, it's not like a career choice anymore, etc., etc. Your job, like, you know what I'm saying, your thing can go away. A job is always gonna be there. Like, you're gonna always be able to have to go and to like be able to go and get a job. if that makes sense. So that kind of begs the question again: why is it like? You know what I'm saying?
Did I just cuss at you?
That's a
This is
slur. If
stupid.
I did lose all my followers, I would probably buy a couple houses and start my real estate empire.
Okay, so then you would have to actually go to work. You would actually have to go to the office.
And I would think that would be.
But see, like that's the thing. Again, like I said, I feel like they think their conception of having an honest living or honest job or honest work is getting up to go to an office or go to your job place or whatever and do the work there and then come home and have you have your home life or whatever. I don't think they're grasping the idea of the fact that you can work at home. There also are a lot of 9 to 5, or I won't say a lot, but there are a decent amount of 9 to 5 jobs where you can work at home. You don't have to go to the office. You can like sit at the crib and do a lot of IT jobs or customer service.
Be a
jobs,
much
whatever.
easier job than streaming.
You gotta go into your setup though and sit in front of studio lights and read the chat and be interactive.
But
and
no,
stuff
he
like
lost
that.
everybody. He lost everybody. He has no followers whatsoever.
you're-
He would
you're-
have to turn
yeah, but
around.
you're proving my point.
You would
Yeah,
have to
she's
turn around.
low-key proving the point. The fact that like at any day, like and you can be a top streamer at any day. Your shit can go like that, like in a blink of an eye. And now like you might have steady income for a tad bit, and then like it goes like drastically down, and then you're fucking cooked, and you have to figure something out. But you can always go and just get a job. If you gotta go get a job, you can go and get a job. So it's like I wouldn't even say like. Again, I wouldn't necessarily agree that a 9 to 5 is or streaming is harder than a 9 to 5, but I would for sure, and my claim is going to be that that streaming is way more risky or a lot riskier than a regular 9 to 5 job, and that's just facts though. That's literally facts.
Proving my point on why this is harder because I could lose it all
Yeah,
tomorrow.
but you could lose it tomorrow.
If let's say you're a cook, right? Let's say you got fired. You have hundreds of people lined up. You can go cook over here, cook over there. You
could be a private chef.
You could be a private chef. Exactly. I don't have that security.
I was a cook in the school system. I cooked all frozen food.
But you still cook.
You still cook. You go cook for another school.
I think I saw a flag right here.
Flags. I see
She
red
said she
flags.
cooked off frozen food. That's what.
I'm gonna have to backlit. Yo, Lacey, it's the truth.
I think something you guys aren't taking into account. Say we get a brand deal, I gotta post on an Instagram story. I gotta go find
This nigga is trolling. They're trolling, but like.
the 4 local cans. I gotta make sure, I gotta make sure I get the 4 local can. And
Not to mention,
You have to do work. That's the way it has to do work.
it ruins our Twitter impressions too.
I gotta tag them.
And then that goes into falling off.
My name is
These niggas is
Rhonda. I'm a
trash.
registered nurse from the South.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, she's an RN. Cool. She went to school for her. You know what I'm saying? Etc.
35 years ago, I decided to go to nursing school because I wanted to be a creative, I thought. I loved fashion, I loved acting, I loved singing.
So you went to nursing school?
But in the South, whole lot of racism back in the
Ah.
60s.
And so this is what I wanted to get into. I found, Rhonda brought it up. Times were way different back in the day. So a lot of the people that they're talking to right now, like they didn't have like, it wasn't the same as it is now. Like it wasn't as like open or as free. Like you couldn't just do whatever, if that makes sense. Like you had to go to specific things and get specific jobs and do this and do that because that's how the times were back then. If we're supposed to continue to grow, we're supposed to continue to like get better. If everything, all the hard work y'all put in, we're not using it, then that's like, why? I feel like people who were, like older people from back in the day or back in these times, they definitely put in hella work and we appreciate them for that. And we're like utilizing the resources and the things that they gave us, but they like still want us to like go through what they kind of went through to an extent, if that makes sense. Like it was definitely a traumatic experience. I can't really speak for them because I didn't have to go through that. Luckily, thank them for that. But at the same time, it's like if now I'm able to do these things, I'm able to go be creative. I'm able to kind of do whatever I please to an extent. I'm able to, et cetera, et cetera. why is this such an issue for me of me doing that now? If that makes sense. Like, why is me going to be a streamer or doing this or doing that career? Why is that an issue? Even though you literally fought super hard, you had to deal with so much more than me to get me, to, to help put me in this position to where I can do this. I feel like it'd be disrespectful for me to not do this thing, do the thing that y'all are, y'all allow me to do.
In the 50s, people didn't give a rat's ass if you created something, and they wouldn't support your business. So yes, a 9 to 5 is much harder. I had to work 7 to 3, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I had to support my daughter.
Rhonda,
you get spoiled.
Rhonda, can I ask you a question?
Nope.
Have you ever done it?
You get spoiled. Rhonda, no.
Rhonda,
you get spoiled, and your mama and daddy keep
Rhonda,
giving it to you.
Rhonda.
Okay, but you see what I'm saying? Like, it's like they not like. I don't think she understands what she's saying. Okay, like I feel like, again, it's like an envy pull. It's like damn, I wanted to do this as a kid, I couldn't, but you can now, and you're doing it. So I feel like you're like just getting spoiled, etc., etc. Like, one, like, you don't necessarily know me, you don't know my background. I don't know you or your background, so I can't, so we can't sit here and make these assumptions about each other. But at the same time as well, you can't like again, if you fought for us to like have these freedoms, have these rights, have these abilities to do these things, and now we're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Why is that an issue? Like, yes, you sadly wasn't able to do that, and it was definitely like a lot different back in the day, back in those times. But it's a lot different now, and it's a lot more like, and you know what I'm saying? People. I'm just.
I got a question for Rhonda. I got a question for Rhonda. Rhonda,
Yes.
have you ever done a subathon?
What's a subathon?
30 days straight.
24
hours a day.
Day and night.
We all streamed for.
That ain't even healthy.
You're talking about working 7 to 3.
She said this ain't even healthy. That's another thing. Like, a lot of this, when you doing a lot of people who create content, like they aren't like the healthiest people due to the fact that like their sleep schedule is fucking cooked. The times that they stream, etc. And she was talking about the hours she worked as an RN. That's like that's your job. Like, those are your job hours. Those are the things you signed up for. They didn't tell you, oh, hey, you're only going to be working 9 to 5 and that's it. You know what I'm saying? You can have a calm, regular, same, you know what I'm saying, exact schedule shift. And then you started working and then your shift wasn't the same, or it was like, you know what I'm saying, different shifts. You had to do 2 a days, etc. They tell you that up front. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. I feel like people be signing up for stuff that they don't want to do, and then get surprised when they're like actually doing the thing that they signed up for.
You have 2 30-minute breaks throughout that. You get to go home afterwards, see your family, relax. We were on camera 30 days straight, no personal.
What
You know how
day
hard
were
it is
you a registered
to
nurse?
have.
When did you get a break? You clean boo-boo?
When have you ran a 3-minute ad?
You
When have you
clean
ever
up
ran? You
vomit,
never ran a 3-minute ad.
pass trays, you short-handed. You
Talk
don't
about the fake relationships that you have.
Oh my God.
Now
It's fake
think
on
about
social
this.
media.
Think about this. Imagine
Sure.
every little person. We call them parasocials. They judge your
Parasocials.
relationships. You can't go out to dinner or have a girl take a picture in your car without them finding out and judging you.
I got caught with my
based on it.
ex.
I
in
got caught with
public.
my ex, and I got treated like I was a pedophile for it.
But mental health. When you stop caring about what people think and what they say about you, do you?
Yo, am I bugging? Is that not what they're doing though? Am I bugging? Is that not what they're doing? They're sitting here saying like, and yeah, it's going off topic a bit, but is them not doing, like, not caring, doing what they want to do, not subjecting to the pressures that y'all trying to put them under, saying that they have to work on 9 to 5 is harder than doing what they doing. Is that not what they doing? Am I bugging? Are we serious right now? Are we serious right now?
Do you? And that's a big problem with younger people. You care about what people think, social media, what they say about
Because
you.
that's our
job.
You said you're.
Okay, him yelling was crazy. But that's also, like, again, that's part of their job, is to kind of care what their chat is saying, etc., etc. Not saying that makes their job harder, or you know what I'm saying. But it's
You're a
definitely
nurse,
like,
right?
35 years.
What do you think's harder? 24-hour open surgery, like when you're
This is
helping
so
with, the
stupid.
doctor, et cetera, or a 24-hour stream?
24-hour open surgery.
That shit.
Bruh.
They know it's they trolling. They trolling.
Handed.
We're saving thousands, you're saving one.
They trolling. Oh, shit.
All right, so you said 30-day subathon, right?
Yeah.
Occupation NA. Why the fuck is he here?
My argument is that you guys, none of you guys actually did any of the work during that, and it was all your filmers,
Is
your
he part of the
editors,
Faze team?
your producers. All these people back here are the ones doing the work. You guys just show up and have fun.
They didn't do anything.
It's a group project.
No, because here's the thing.
It's a group thing. Like everybody is doing work. They're also getting compensated for their work. They're not doing the work for free. Like, you know what I'm saying? But to sit here and say that they doing the work, they are doing like hard jobs. They are doing the things that the streamers don't necessarily like. I wouldn't even say want to do, but it's like they've trickled or allocated these tasks to other people. But it's like you as the streamer, you're still the face of the thing. You still have to do, you know what I'm saying, something to garner attention, to gain viewers, to continue to have your viewership, to continue to, you know what I'm saying, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, what the fuck are we saying?
Well, that's bad take.
That's bad take. That's bad take. That's bad take.
They wouldn't have any work if it wasn't for us, though.
That's another thing. I'm their employer. You know what I'm saying?
I would even go as far to say as every person in this room,
hey, this
we
nigga
keep
go.
them employed as well. Because here's the thing, we get sponsors from these companies that have 9-to-5s, right? These companies, hold on. These companies are not viable without influencers to push the brand and keep them in business.
Have you ever worked a real job?
No.
So how would you
See,
know?
I have.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that hasn't, but he's also been creating content since he was in school and he like saw success with it or whatever.
I worked a real job.
What was your real job?
I worked 8 months. I worked a double. I worked Walmart and Panera at the same time for a year.
Why they laughing? Y'all saying that they never had jobs, so they got everything handed to them. He worked 2 jobs for 8 months.
Laughing, bro. Nah, she making me mad. I actually feel like they're wrong.
Oh shit, they got Ron. Okay, I don't try. I ain't gonna lie. Majority of what Ron is saying, I'm probably not gonna pay attention to it because this nigga is actually he be trolling. This nigga always trolling.
Hi, I'm Chris.
All right, Chris.
Why do you think a 9-to-5 job is not harder than what you do?
Well, you're guaranteed to pay.
Guaranteed to pay.
Yeah.
And that makes it harder?
Yeah. No, it makes it easier for you
Makes
guys.
it easier
Yeah.
because we have a guaranteed pay.
100%. You have
Makes
security.
it easier
Talk about
for
raises.
Makes it easier for 9-to-5
Okay, raises, that shit don't make
people to have a job because their pay is
Yeah,
guaranteed.
when you go to work every day, everyone's
So you're
like,
basing the ease of a job just on somebody getting paid regularly? Is that what you...
well, let's just say that comes to perspective. If you say someone who works food, if you're someone who works a doctor, it's obviously different. But if you're talking abroad, 9-to-5, someone who doesn't need a degree, yeah, it's way easier than being a streamer.
How so?
Well, it's because you're guaranteed and you don't need any crazy knowledge. You don't need to go to school for most jobs, like certain things like a 9-to-5. If you wanted to go work at Foot Locker, I could go to Foot Locker, apply, and then next thing you know, I'm selling shoes for pay every single hour.
So according to you, a job is easier or harder based on the guaranteed pay? That's one aspect of it.
Working
right?
at Foot Locker, working at a job like Panera or wherever Lacey is easier than a streamer, yes, because a streamer you have to come up with ideas, you have to stay relevant.
We're talking about ideas now. Okay,
yeah,
we're talking about pay.
Okay, so what do you want to start with, though? But it doesn't
easier.
make. But
well,
you're not even. You keep switching it. So why don't you answer my question?
I'm not switching anything.
You know, you 100% are.
Yeah.
So how is it harder if you're guaranteed to pay? I worked for 4 years of streaming. I didn't make $1.
Well, what's your definition of hard? That's the thing. It's like what
stuff
is
that
difficult.
you need creativity. You need to get out of your circle, comfort zone.
Yeah.
You need to be able to actually make people believe what you believe in the sense of like, oh, this is good content. Do you watch any TV shows?
I watch YouTube.
Okay, you watch
so
YouTube.
Much YouTube.
So it's the same thing.
Absolutely.
So the people that you're They're entertained by are the people like us, just for a different audience.
That's true, but you're talking about entertainment as a job. We could talk about entertainment.
This is entertainment,
as a job.
but this is
Yeah,
entertainment.
as
But my
a
question
job
to you
doesn't have
is
any
why?
guarantees. Absolutely.
So do you truthfully, you can sit here and think that working at like a Foot Locker or something like that, I'm just using that because that's the best
Sure.
example,
Yeah,
is harder than a streamer?
It depends on what you are saying the word hard means to you. Because
In the
there's
sense of
hard
everyday
physically,
activity, because
there's
some people
hard-
around here said, "Oh, I got to wake up at
Yo,
7
appreciate
a.m.,
you for the
8
follow,
a.m.
twin.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to do the same thing.
Sure.
Some people do that.
And you deal with yourself.
No, we deal with millions
When
of people.
you're creating that content and you have your phone,
Okay.
you're dealing with you and yourself in that phone.
Okay, so what happens?
You're not dealing with
Not true.
coworkers and you're not
That's not
dealing
true at
with-
all. I have an
Okay.
editor that I pay who relies on me. If I stop doing
Which
any
is
type
later.
of content, he loses
So when
a job.
you go to your job, when you go to work, rather than punching a card, you pick up your phone or you turn on a camera.
Okay, so when you punch the card, let's say, who's above you? Your boss, right? What happens if he just takes the business and he says, "Oh, we're not doing it anymore"? You lose your job.
If the work is picking up a phone or turning on a camera as opposed to going in with a bunch
see,
of people. And
That's not the only thing that they do. They turn on the camera. It's the start of their work day. They turn the camera on. They click go live, and they start going live. Like what? And they start doing their job at that point. That's them clocking in.
having to multitask tasks you have to do throughout your shift
Yeah.
and deal with your
Tasks you gotta do
coworkers
throughout
and
the stream.
interpersonal thing. Tell me how much you do of that stuff while you are actually doing your job for however many number
Okay,
of hours
perfectly.
that you are talking and typing and shitting and eating and all that stuff that everybody's watching you do.
Go ahead.
No, but there's actually a mental aspect.
I understand that, yeah.
No. Let me hear
Yeah,
me out.
go ahead.
Camaraderie. Like you have like a group of people, like
Camaraderie.
friendships, relationships, which is the most
Sure.
important thing in life. So do you build that with your coworkers and stuff like that? And
Sorry, bye. See you later.
So you have a lot of flags.
Yeah, that nigga is loud.
What's your name?
So I'm Angelina, and I work as an executive assistant.
You're right. You're right. She's right. I know. She's right. She's right.
This nigga is so stupid. These niggas are stupid.
Hey, look good though. Hey, we good.
All right, so you guys were talking about the mental aspect, and I thought that was really interesting because as someone who works a 9 to 5, technically it's a 10 to 6, but I still have to clock in a certain amount of time. I come home, I'm too tired to cook. Fortunately, I have a beautiful girlfriend that does all of that stuff for me when I get home, but if I didn't, I would have to cook for myself and get to bed in time and wake up in time to commute back to my job. You guys talk about how it's hard because there's a mental aspect, and I understand as someone who's been on social media a lot that you get
How long have you
berated.
been on social media? Just to get broad.
So I actually did content creation starting at the age of 14. When I moved to LA, I gained like 10,000 followers off the bat, and I was very young, and I started working with different brands.
Okay.
I totally understand the mental aspect. It's just that you guys can afford to say, hey, I'm gonna go wherever for 2 weeks, and that can be content.
But, and I get what she's saying, but at the same time, it's not like they've been able to do this their entire time, like streaming and their entire career. They had to get to, so it's like they're gauging the top #1 doctor in the world who can just come in, do his little job or whatever, and like, you know what I'm saying, kind of be able to afford a lot of stuff rather than like understanding the full aspect or the full grasp of what, like, you know what I'm saying, their career is. Like, they had to get to the point to where they can, like, now it's like, oh yeah, I can like go on vacation for here for 2 weeks in this content, or I could go and do this and do that, etc., etc. Yes, but it was not always like this. It had to get to this point.
That can be your job, and you actually get to relax and travel the world and have other
So
opportunities.
you're just saying a lot of points.
there's no relaxation.
Just so I can answer a couple. So you were saying like to go back to the beginning, you were saying like you can manage like your time with like relationship. Was that correct? Like you have your girlfriend when you go home. Like
I fortunately have a support system, but I every day like ask myself how I would
so
have
I'll
been
give you
able
a
to do it
perfect
without.
example. So you said 14 you started. I started at 16. For about 3 years, I was making money, and it slowly went super up, and then all of a sudden it went down. Right?
Yeah.
I lost everything, fell off
was about to
completely.
yourself.
About to myself. It's a real story. This is a real story. This isn't a joke.
No, it's dead serious.
We've all been there. Every 9 to 5 worker has been there.
So
That's
going
why.
back to what you said, how you have a support system. I moved across the country from my parents at the age of 19, lived alone in an apartment, was paying a certain amount of money every single month, and I was losing money. I wasn't making enough money to pay my, like I had money in my bank for my rent, but I wasn't making
It was
more than my
serious,
rent.
yeah.
So I was losing.
You were in the red every
I
month.
was in the
I
red
got
every
you.
single month. Girlfriend broke up with me at the time, so alone
whammy.
across the country. So it's like when you're alone too and everything's going down, where's my support system?
I don't like why she laughing, bro.
Okay, so I have a question. You said that for the first 4 years you started streaming, you had no income. How are you able to survive?
I lived with my mom. I was 16.
So that to a certain
So what? He was supposed to live on his own? Like, what are we talking about? What are we?
extent is privilege.
That's privilege.
How the fuck is that?
It is.
But my mom. How's that privilege? Before
It's privilege because you have the support system to have a place to live.
Well, at 15, 16, I would hope I have parents that would live with me.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't, and they have to
What is
take
that?
9
That's
to
a whole
5s.
different discussion. So a lot.
What the fuck is he talking about? What?
People don't have houses.
A lot of
when they
people
working
don't
9 to
have
5s?
families that support them or accept
But that's a
them.
whole different conversation. What does that have to do with the 9 to 5?
Because they still need to survive. So the fact that you were given
So
the
how did you move to LA?
I moved across the country as well with my mom when I was 15 years old.
Do you not think that's privileged?
I mean, we moved into a 1-bedroom in Santa Monica and shared a trundle bed. So.
That's not. See, we talk about. See, bro, the niggas is moving the goalpost. They moving the goalpost. Answer the motherfucking question.
I was reselling shoes to afford my mom's mortgage and everything.
I get it. I've definitely helped my family out in times where I was able to, but I also had to have my family support me in order for me to have certain opportunities to make money in the first place. So if you didn't have content creation, what would you be doing?
It's a great question. I don't know, because I didn't set my goals that way. I set up my life to that. I know I would do what I want to do. If we all got paid the same every single month, let's say just in simple terms, we all got paid $100,000 a month, a crazy amount of money. Would you guys still, truthfully, I'm asking a serious question, would you guys say that all of our jobs are harder than each other, truthfully?
Yeah, if she was a nurse, she had to go to medical school for years just to be able to have her
But
foot
she
in the
knew
door.
that she was getting security because she was going to be a nurse, correct?
Not secure.
How is it not secure if you knew what you were going to do?
Nothing secure.
Nothing's secure. You just proved my point. But you just proved my point.
No job is secure, but content creation gives you the ability to have those savings, to have an audience.
That's very like situation.
And even if you do lose all your followers one day, even if
let's
you
say
lose,
I lost it all tomorrow.
you still have residuals of your previous viral
But
videos. Even if people are hating on you and
that's
shitting on you, that's still
not- yeah,
adding
that's
to
not
what goes
necessarily
into your
true.
pocket.
There's literally doctors who do one surgery and make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Because they were trained for decades and they had to go to
Exactly. These people put in the work for a certain amount of time and got to the point to where now they can like kind of freely do a little bit whatever they want and make the money they can, etc., etc. Cause what it seemed like they doing is they saying that you sparked the stream in one day and all of a sudden you started making 100K a month. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like that. Like just because I didn't go to school, just because like I'm not getting up to clock in every day or whatever to go to an office job or whatever, doesn't mean that like my job isn't like difficult. Doesn't mean it's like I don't know.
school. You went to school to be a content creator?
Streamer University.
Well, these niggas are stupid.
How you doing, bro?
Good, how you doing?
Alex.
Gabe.
Gabe, how we doing?
I'm doing good. So first of all, I want to say I do respect all of you for what you do. I mean, you guys do work, but you do not work as hard as people who have a regular job.
You don't know that.
I mean, that I do know it for sure. It's very clear. People have to wake up and do their routine over and over again. It's not a daily thing, it's a weekly thing, it's a monthly thing, it's a yearly thing, it's a life thing. And if they screw up, they lose their jobs. And they always have to be careful because if they do something weird, they say something weird to their coworker or their boss, they're gonna lose their job. If you lose some followers because of something you say, you'll get other followers. And you have a large following enough where there's enough of a range of perspectives that.
But they had to get to that point. It wasn't like I just spawned out of nowhere and I had this support system. I had to build the connection with these people, with this insane amount of people to get the support system that I have now to et cetera, et cetera. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that people will
I feel like
be
they
on board for you as long as you're producing content. People who screw up at their jobs and lose their jobs, and maybe there's a recession, there's not a lot of jobs, as could be now, they get potentially homeless or worse.
You ever heard of cancel culture?
What's that? Yeah, of course I've heard of it. But how many people have been canceled and came back? I mean, it happens all the time. Your boss is not going to be loyal to you if you don't get that thing in on time 5 times.
Okay, but check it
you're
out.
done.
Okay, so listen.
5 times. If you turning in something late 5 times, nigga, whose fault is that?
But to be able to get that loyal following,
Once or twice maybe, but 5 is
follow
crazy.
you.
Yes.
You need to build.
I get this
an
analogy.
Years
but-
and years and hours of trust
All right.
and communication and intimate and.
But that's another thing too. The boss is looking at it as a business. For creators, you know what I'm saying, especially you using your face, they looking at it as like a commitment to like a person. They're looking at it as like deeper than just a business in itself. Like some people don't necessarily be loyal to certain brands because it's a brand. Like fuck it. There are other brands I could go to, but for the person, it's like I'm here for you specifically. So that bond, that connection is a lot different. It's a lot deeper, and that bond gets built over the course of like genuine time, to where like now, or I guess whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now that loyalty is here. Like it took time. Like it wasn't just a given.
Intimate relationships with your audience.
Okay, so
that's not something that's just given to you. You don't just fall into 1 million subscribers, 2
Of
million
course
subscribers,
not.
3 million
Of course
subscribers.
not. It takes work for sure. But like what you guys are talking about in terms of like the toll it takes on you, a large part of it, and let me tell you something, I'm a little older than you guys, so a large part of it is just general angst from being young, and you just happen to have a camera in front of you and like talking to people or whatever, but at the same time, like, you're doing exactly what most people are doing, which is dealing with life stuff, and that's normal. Like the mental toll that it takes dealing with people and getting comments and this and that, that's what everybody deals with. But you don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. and get to your job and then be there and like be on the whole time, no matter what. Anyone who has a 9 to 5 has to do that.
I said, what do you do?
Well, I'm a college professor, so I have to do that same
So
sort
you
of.
just gotta come in and teach the same shit for the next 10, 15 years?
Yes, you're right.
Come on.
So what the you?
We already know what you're doing.
We have to produce new shit every day.
For me in particular, to Silky's point, you're a college professor, so you're essentially reteaching the same curriculum to the same students.
That I had to take
what I'm
years
saying?
to learn, but
you know
yes.
what I'm saying? But I started making content when I was 12 years old.
Okay.
It started out playing Call of Duty trick shotting. I
You were-
don't think
okay.
anybody in this room could hit a crane shot. I don't know if anyone.
Man, these niggas are stupid,
I don't know if
So I
that's
had to
something to be
do-
proud of, but okay.
So I had to do that for 4 years,
Okay.
right? And then I'm like, okay. Then I had to do YouTube for 4 years,
Okay.
right?
All
And then I had to do Faze Clan, build Faze Clan out, fix Faze Clan, and then
Okay.
do streaming.
Okay.
So
And
you're
with how many
constantly-
people helping you?
How many people helping me?
Yeah.
Come on now.
For which stages?
Yeah, all of them. There were a lot. You had a team.
Yeah, when I was trick
Was
shotting-
it just you? Like
No. It
Okay.
was just me. There's receipts of this.
It wasn't built on the shoulders of anyone?
There's receipts on YouTube of me.
Okay, well, where did YouTube come from?
When I was
How did
13
YouTube become so
when I was
easy?
13
Because
years
a
old.
bunch of people worked their butts off 9 to 5, making it a thing.
That's
and
what
if
you
it
did
didn't
in the previous
exist,
point.
if it didn't exist, you couldn't press
So the
play, you
fact-
couldn't press record,
So the fact that
and
you
then
have
just
a,
talk.
The fact that you have a campus to teach on, then
Yeah.
boom, there you go.
Right, but I
Yeah,
also
you
had
have
to
a
spend
campus to teach.
years earning my credentials and mastering.
And I did it.
Come on, guys. Your credentials are playing video games. I play video games on my spare time. Come on, guys.
So you just want to get paid to play video games. It's okay. We understand.
Bro. Like, I feel like the right people could definitely like come on here and like really back 9 to 5, but I feel like they don't have the right people on here.
And my perspective is coming from
She's a hair and makeup
hair and
artist.
makeup artist, physical job. Doesn't seem like any of you guys can even compete with the physicality.
brother.
You guys just
Bro. If she was a construction worker, okay, cool. You're a hair and makeup artist. Not saying that don't take a toll. I've done my own hair before when I had hair. That shit is fucking difficult. But let me see what she says.
I know how to do a 3-strand braid.
just sitting on your butt and talking into a microphone
know.
is very different.
So wait.
Very different than having to get up in the morning, carry all.
See, you see what everybody keeps saying? The trending topic is the getting up in the morning, going to work, working for this sort of, this amount of hours, coming back home to deal with home stuff, etc., etc. Like, why does that have to like dictate how hard something is? Because you got to get up early in the morning and go to an office and clock in and work these many hours at this place you don't even want to work at, apparently, and then come back home and then deal with your home stuff and like why does that? You know what I'm saying? Like
all of your gear. You've got to carry all of your hair, makeup, all of your supplies. You have to haul it around. Get up early in the morning. You stand on your feet all day. You never sit down.
I hear you. I hear you.
You're breathing in toxic chemicals all day.
All right, can I talk?
Hairspray.
Is that not a
So your whole
it's
thing.
dangerous.
Listen,
Your job is
chill.
dangerous.
So
Your
thing
job
is-
isn't
your thing
physically
is
taxing. You're just talking into a
So
microphone.
listen.
again, I feel like they all have like this one ideology that for streaming or YouTube or whatever the thing that they're doing, they do what I do. Sit down at your desk, talk into a microphone, and that's it.
So your whole thing. Your whole thing is we can't do what you do, right?
It's not
No, no,
physical.
no, but-
I'm saying that
I
a
just-
9 to
y'all let
5
me talk for
job
a
where
second.
you physically have to do
So-
some hauling around stuff.
So
and
I physically
you're
can't
just
haul
talking
around
into a microphone.
bags of like makeup. You physically could never trick shot. You could not hit a crane shot. You can't 1080. You can't hold a controller and make a 200K montage. You can't. No one in here can.
They trolling.
You can.
That's basically what she just said though. Like you can't get up in the morning and lug around all the stuff that I do. Like she said y'all don't look physically capable of doing what I do. You do hair, ma'am. You're a hair and makeup artist. You lug around your supplies with you, yes. But
And you have to do that for 12 hours a day.
Yes. Actually,
You
yes.
taking them 4 days to hit a trick shot. It's taking you 4 days to hit a trick shot.
Actually, yes, I would have
Hours
to
a
do
day.
that.
And then your day is never
I
done. When you're
would.
done doing that, is your job done? Do you have to go shopping and replace
No, no.
all of the things
Wait.
that you use?
No. Listen,
You have to
Vicky,
clean
listen,
all of
Vicky.
your gear.
You don't know about dry streaks. You don't know about hit markers.
But when you're done, you're
You
done.
don't know about if the Elgato wasn't on.
When
Can
you're
you
done, you're
imagine
done.
these things?
Oh my God, disable
Elgato?
resample.
If I rendered my video in Vegas and I sent the editor the clips without disabling and resample,
Oh my God.
my montage is fucked. Your main underlining argument here is what you do is physically
Daily, day
more-
to day.
Okay. Your main thing is what you do is physically more taxing and
Yeah.
hard than what any of us
And
do.
dangerous.
I could say the same thing. You cannot physically trick shot. You could never. I would go as far
Okay,
as
so
I don't
how many hours a day do you trick shot?
I don't think
How many
any of you
hours
guys
a
ever do.
day do you trick shot? How many hours?
When I was trick shotting, it was 12 hours a day. It was however long I needed to. However
Every
long I
day, 12
needed
hours
to.
a day
However
trick
long I
shotting?
needed to hit a clip.
12 hours a day, every day.
5 seconds.
And that clip is.
He carries a Barrett 50 cal and he jumps off of stuff.
I would have to get on Call of Duty, turn my sense all the way up to 1010. I would have to get to last. I would have to pray to God.
Yeah, these niggas
to
is
be
chatting.
in the right spot. Throw the concussion.
But it's low-key
Now
what
I gotta
she's
have my
talking about,
rotations
though.
down. I gotta have my rotation.
Dead zones. Talk about
and
dead
it's like they don't obviously that like yeah you're playing a game and it's not like you know what I'm saying, but
zones.
What about dead zone?
Stick drip.
Stick drip.
Thing is, for the most part, but that is not all YouTubers that are doing something physical. A lot of it is just talking.
no
Yeah, but
it's
she also
not.
said it was dangerous. We could walk around IRL stream and someone could rob us or kill us.
I gotta.
Wait.
They're laughing, but that's happened recently.
I've gotten a pumpkin thrown on my head by a crackhead.
Crackhead ran up to him on stream and almost
died.
Almost
Because he
decapitated
quoted
him
his
when he
thoughts.
was-
Here we go.
My name is Thelma. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
I am very occupational. My last job, I worked as a librarian with elementary school children. I have been an executive secretary, legal.
Very quiet, peaceful.
Yes, yes, all that. You know, because it's who you are. That you know, we create social media all the time because that's what we are. We're 9-to-5ers, and we interact and have energy with people. Where I don't think that you guys have that.
We have energy.
That's literally what streaming and content creation is. Interacting and having energy with people. That's literally their job.
You have false energy because you're
False
across the
energy.
screen. You're not interacting with people like we do.
So what are we doing right now? What are we doing right now?
You're doing it now because we're doing a video.
Okay, I don't think that they understand that that's a lot of people nowadays who their lives are on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Not even necessarily influencers or whatever. It's the people who watch influencers. Their lives are on the internet. A big part of what they do is on the internet. It's like, and so when you're interacting with them, that sense of togetherness, that sense of feeling, or whatever the case may be, it's like similar. Definitely not the same as like being there in person, but like it's definitely similar to that, to what what she's trying to get at. I get what she's saying, but to say that they don't interact with people and because that they're not like they're on the screen, it's like it negates the whole thing that they do, and it's kind of crazy.
Is she debating for us? That's making it harder for us.
Do you know that there's millions of people?
Now I'm not gonna have all y'all gang up on me.
There's millions of people who watch the video who
Yes.
save lives every day,
Yes.
probably more than doctors.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's people that literally stay alive because they want to watch our videos.
You know about going out into the
That's
clubs
true.
at night, staying out till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning so you can get dressed.
So who fucking fault is that? Now oh my days, bro. Come on now. I thought she was doing okay at first, but then now she like, what the fuck?
He was
we
having
doing?
fun.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so
But I'm saying it's like you guys don't do the interaction. You don't touch people like this.
Okay, now
What kind of shit's going on?
you go to the club, you get to put some shades on, and you go by your day to work. We can't do that because we have thousands of people.
But is
You're
that
drunk,
your choice?
You're high. You're
But is
hungover.
that
Just
your
get off
choice?
screen. We don't want to see you like this.
But is that your choice?
We don't like you like this. Why are you doing this?
But is that your choice? You chose that. You chose this life.
That's the thing. We can't.
And
can't
that's
do
what's
what you
happening
do.
now. That's what's happening now with the whole world. It's a total disconnect. When you have a 9 to 5, you dealing with people. You touching people's hearts,
We deal with
souls,
people too.
mind. No, you are not.
Do you know how many bands we meet a day?
I think. Look, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I respect what you do.
Do you
because
watch
I think,
any entertainment?
Oh my
Of
God.
course, I watch
So do
entertainment.
you
I
ever-
got kids.
wait,
I got grandkids.
Do you ever laugh? Do you ever laugh?
Of course, I laugh.
So then the
We're
interaction. is
touching
equal.
them.
But the interaction is
Did
not
it make you
real.
feel better?
When I'm watching
Wait, did it make you feel better?
What make me feel
Have you
better?
ever
It all
watched-
depends on
Have you ever been
it all
entertained?
depends- it
Have you
all
ever been
depends
entertained
on
and been like,
what's coming.
oh, I feel good?
Some of it is
I got a
fake.
banger right now.
Some of it is fake.
You see, you're not answering.
So now let me.
Okay, well, let me answer because I'm debating him.
Okay, yeah.
But go ahead.
Right after this, I got you. Right
Okay,
now. Go
all
ahead.
right.
Yeah.
Come on.
So when you're entertained, have you ever felt like your day was better if you watched something? You've never felt like that?
This
Yeah,
nigga,
sure.
bro.
So what's the difference with us?
The difference with you is that you guys do this 24/7. That's all you do.
Yeah.
Do you know? You're just like you. Wait a minute. Somebody made a comment about, oh, I can't even go out with my girlfriend, or I can't even go out in public.
That's right.
I can go out in public and be seen.
So it's
You know what?
easier.
So it's easier.
I'm a very social. I'm a very social person. I'm very popular in where I do and where I am. I do social media.
I'm saying what we do has not affected people. It's not real. How come when I go out in public and I meet someone and they're like, oh my God, wait, I loved your videos growing up. You were my childhood. I used to watch you
Or their
every
hands
single
shaking,
day.
their hands shaking.
Like you were my child. You know how like we grew up watching Disney Channel?
Yep.
I've had kids
Ben
come
10.
up hundreds of times throughout years of my life. Had kids come up to me and say these things. So
Okay.
I'm Robbie. I'm a server at an Italian restaurant.
Come on, bro. Life's easy.
Oh, that's not fair.
He has the same menu, makes the same food every day. Bro.
First thing I'm gonna say is
He don't make the food. He serves it.
nobody's gonna say being a nurse isn't hard, because my aunt was. That is the
My
most
mom
difficult
was.
shit. How are you gonna disrespect your mom like
No,
that,
she
dude?
is right now.
You're gonna disrespect
She
your
loves
mom
it.
and say that your work is harder?
She tells
That
me
is
it's
so rude,
Nigga,
honestly.
She works 2 of them.
Okay,
She works at 2 hospitals.
Let me ask you something.
She said it's mad easy. She can work at 2 hospitals.
No disrespect.
Bro, this nigga
No
stupid.
disrespect, but what you do, I'm not your target audience. So break it down for me, because I don't even get it.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you something.
You just said I'm not your target audience because I'm black.
This nigga
You don't watch me because I'm black. And this is what I'm talking about. It's harder.
He has to get judged every
I gotta get
single
judged every day. Everybody thinks I'm a hoodlum. I'm a nice guy.
He's a jolly dude.
I can't can't get a job because I got tats. I used to work at Costco's. I had the greatest 401k granted to me. That means that when I retire, I get the biggest stipend of my life. Do you know I could just sit there and just meat pack all day just to really realize that, what, maybe 20 years I'm gonna be sitting on millions because I worked at Costco's?
Yeah, Will.
Okay.
I didn't have to interact with nobody, just packing meat.
Yeah, Will.
Come on, bro.
Hey. Is what you do fun?
I mean,
Do you enjoy what you do?
if I make it fun,
Do you make it fun?
I could make it fun.
Yes or no? Is what you do fun?
Not everything's fun.
What isn't fun? Break it down for me. What do you do in a day? We'll swap stories. What do you do?
So you saying your job is harder because your job is not fun? Why the what?
In a day.
Okay, so it's very stressful, right?
Oh, here this
Not
nigga go.
fun at all. Because this dude
Here
was
this
talking for
nigga
20
go.
minutes about playing video games.
Whoa. It sounds like you're jealous, I'm not gonna lie.
Yawn is decent.
Okay, so look, right?
So I'm jealous of a harder job.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
that was sarcasm. You didn't read it. No, I'd like to. hear this.
No, listen to the time that I
Oh,
wake
he
up.
one of
I
them
wake
niggas.
Up,
God damn
maybe
it.
3, 4 p.m. You know what I'm saying? I'm already drowsy because I just smoked the night before. You know why I gotta smoke? Because I just deal with thousands of people. I don't even like people. I gotta deal with thousands of them. No, let him stay. You gonna stay for this, right?
Wait, but you still haven't described what you've done other than smoking pot and waking up at 4.
Okay, waking up at 4 p.m., right? Now wake up. I gotta brush my teeth, right? Gotta make sure, cause I got a lot of comments. Now, you know, he don't brush his grills. What does his real teeth look like? I gotta make sure that my
He got Chanel earrings like a bad bitch.
And there's girls in his chat too sometimes. So
Yeah.
you know.
You know what I'm saying?
See him.
I gotta make sure I'm freshly saving. I'm not saving for this video. I already know what's gonna happen. It's about to be negative comments. Yo, shave that little scruffy shit off your face. Cool.
So
right?
he got fat.
Now I have to game Marvel Rivals for probably 1 to 2 hours before stream. You know why? Because I don't get to game it for after work. Like I could just game it after work, bro.
No
I
energy.
can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do that, right? After I do that, now I gotta sit here and plan with somebody what I'm gonna do for the stream today. Oh, looks like we got no content. All right, let's see if we can just scrubble
Guess
something
what?
around.
No content, no money.
No content, no money. Now look, probably by 8 or 9 p.m., I'm still probably thinking I gotta do something for stream. My mind is fried.
You know what's crazy?
My mind
9 p.m. for him? Oh, I did my work
You
today.
already did
I did my work today.
You took the same boss already.
You're going to sleep.
I don't want to hog the space here too much, but do you know the expression, give a man enough rope?
You're losing me.
Kill
No,
himself?
I don't know this. I don't know.
Basically, you're talking yourself into a hole, man. Okay, my turn. I'll be brief.
Wait, give a man a rope.
What is he?
Wait,
It means-
is that racist?
Yo, this nigga stupid.
Get this racist out of here! He has no social cues.
right.
Oh, you're back?
Yo, niggas is stupid.
Rhonda.
I'm your black auntie.
Yeah.
That's what I
Oh
want to
shit,
say.
here we go.
You say you don't like people. It's all about relationships that you got with people. So when you say shit like that, do you really mean that?
Do I not like people?
You said
I'm an
you
introvert.
said,
I'd rather be in my own space. I'd rather be by myself.
and that's okay. But what is it that you're doing that's helping other people?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Saving lives. I'm a superhero.
He's a hero.
I'm a superhero, no cape.
This nigga Jason finna troll the whole time. I don't know.
Uh-oh, here you go.
How you doing?
I'm good. How
Then
are you?
it don't make it no better. This nigga got this tattoo shit.
That's right. I'm Thelma again.
I believe 9 to 5 is harder. I mean, fuck.
God damn it, this nigga cook, bro. This nigga cook. G fucking G, chat. G fucking G, chat.
No. I believe.
You see what I'm saying?
Harder. Why are you doing it?
I can't have a public relationship because of the public eye and how they judge my relationships. I had a breakup with a girlfriend that I loved so dearly because I chose streaming.
So my question.
Nah, I loved her.
My question.
I loved her, and you're laughing.
My question again.
She been laughing the whole
and
time.
My question: if you think it's so much harder, why are you doing it?
Because
That's the same question I could ask y'all. Cause if y'all think that 9 to 5 is so much harder, why are you doing it? Why are you not streaming?
I'm passionate about it.
Okay, so you love it. You love streaming. So do you love it more than you loved that girlfriend?
That's what I had to decide. I had to make sacrifice, and
So
that's
you-
what you have to do.
so you
with
lost the
streaming.
human touch.
But guess what? If I had a 9 to 5,
lost the human
if I
touch
was flipping burgers,
for-
I could have had a girlfriend still.
But you lost the human touch for the streaming.
Being a streamer, you have to be judged on thousands of people's opinions every single day. A 9 to 5 person, maybe one,
But,
two, three.
okay, and then back to my point, is that your choice? Was that your choice?
But that's not the point, though. The point
No,
is
that's my point. That's my point.
streaming is harder
Was
than 9 to 5.
that
That's the point.
you gave up your girlfriend for streaming? Come on now.
Shit, he ran up a bag.
But then, okay, so look, again, she's asking, is that your choice? That's what I've been asking this whole time. Yeah, was the job that you work in, was that your choice? Is that the job that you chose to work at? Did you apply there and get, you know what I'm saying, got the interview and decided to go to the interview and they gave you the offer and you accepted the offer? Was that your choice? Was you forced into taking that job?
He ran up a
I
bag.
ain't gonna lie,
You did
I
it for a bag.
But the thing is, it comes to a point. Do I pick love and a future with someone I care dearly for? Or do I pick
something that I
future
love?
for something that I'm passionate about and motion? I pick motion.
I'm Lala Costa.
Lala Costa? Yes. Amazing name.
Thank you. I'm an attorney.
She makes a percent off people's fuck ups. I like that.
If you had an opportunity to get a 9 to 5 that you could create yourself, like whatever you want,
Yes,
9
I
to
would.
5, you would take it?
Yes.
Because why?
Because I don't even enjoy streaming anymore.
You don't? What? Come to this side.
No, but I have to because this is what I built my career off of.
You
started.
feel stuck.
I feel stuck, yeah.
Have you ever watched a show and you stopped watching it?
Mm.
Have you ever watched a show and you were like,
All the time.
it's the same thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have to.
That
I
TV
have to-
show can't. It's done. What happens to all those actors?
It's
after that?
canceled
They gotta
because I
go to-
stopped watching?
Well, no. I'm saying if thousands
Baby,
of thousands of you
Honey.
stop watching.
I think you guys are mixing all
Yeah,
the issues.
Cartoon Network. It's like
and
they
not
got millions of
focusing
people.
on-
You guys know what Cartoon Network is?
If your
It's
father would
gone.
stop, would you come up with a different brand then?
All those people are gone. Yeah, but pivot. That's the point.
Swag. Okay, I feel like Swag is the only person that's gonna actually like talk some shit. That's it. Like I feel like everybody else is kind of trolling. Swag might talk. I don't know. Swag might troll too though. Nice to meet you, child. We gonna see.
I'm a professional model. But
Okay.
I've worked since I was at the age of 14.
Okay.
I was a gamer too.
I just think personally, like I agree with Jason that I think streaming does take a certain more than a 9 to 5, and I also think everybody in here, right? If you guys all try to be a streamer, right, and then we all try to do what you guys do,
You get L's in your chat.
the probability of everybody here trying to be an attorney is way higher than somebody making streaming a career.
In 2025, roughly 0.4 to 0.42%, 0.40% of Americans are likely to be licensed practice attorneys, equivalent to about 1 in every 240 people.
Absolutely, your job is just got lucky because you're a gamer. You got lucky. There's so many people
I
like
was
you out
talented.
there.
It wasn't
These
pure
days,
luck.
everybody's an influencer. Come on.
No. But
So many.
no. Hold on.
Not everybody attempts to be, but not everybody is a genuine influencer.
Specifically, what I do, I'm not posting selfies around the world. It's basically all pure talent.
Okay.
Can I just why is he lucky? Why do we all get lucky though?
What is your talent?
Yeah.
Call of Duty. I was a professional Call of Duty player, like actual the
So you were
gaming.
sitting at home and you're thinking, what am I going to do with my life while you were gaming? You're like, oh, let's put a
I was
camera.
16, so it wasn't really like
yeah,
that.
You weren't really thinking of what should I do with my life, like what should I study, what should I like, where does my life go? You just got lucky.
It's not luck. It's
because-
just he's determined. He knows that's the only route.
He didn't get lucky. He put in hours.
Yeah, no.
That's what we do too. We go to
it
school.
wasn't
We
luck.
study.
So why? What is your point here? If
Everybody's a little bit of luck. I think people who don't have a job, they feel they want to get lucky by getting a job. So I think people even having a job is some sort of luck.
He said, how many people of us could do this? No, it's luck. It's 1 of a million because for whatever
How is
reason.
that luck? If 1 out of a million, that one has to be the best. So how are you going to dismiss
Is
all
he
his
the
hard
best?
work and all of his
Is he the
talent?
best?
I got
Is
four.
it-
I got
No,
four.
no,
last
but
year. No. Let me give my statistics. There was over 300,000 people that played Warzone last year. This is the game that I play.
Okay.
I got 4th. So I was a top 12 player across the entire world.
And you're telling him
like,
you're
so that's not luck. That's
like
pure
less than
that's pure
1%.
skill.
So you're dismissing, is Michael Jordan lucky? Is LeBron James lucky? Are they lucky?
I mean,
No,
they have a talent. They have a talent.
They had a
but
team.
as,
So what
you
he
know how
did-
many talented people out there and don't get the chance, they don't get the shot at it?
I don't want to take up his time. So he's not talented?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Not at all.
So what are you?
You just
No.
said.
What he did
I
to get
said
to where
a
he
lot
is.
of people are talented, don't get the shot to do what he does.
Or people who
So
make it
it's
to the
luck.
NBA.
But I didn't even get a shot. It was I did it off the strength of me. You know, there was no one who gave me a shot or anything like that. I simply was. You dead ass?
Yo, you being serious?
Why you laughing?
I can't Why they laughing, bro?
It's not luck. I've been doing this for 13 years. I uploaded 3,000 videos. 2,000 was I edited myself while I went to college, worked a job, and still went to school.
And yeah,
So that's not. I mean, if that's fucking, if that's luck,
Where's the luck at in that
That's
equation?
what I'm saying, bro.
is there a
That's just-
percentage? We are all lucky in some way, right? If we all have a job, we're lucky in some sort of way. But
God bless.
off of specific pure talent. And I worked on that since I was 16.
Again, I work with many talented people. I'm not saying about you. I'm
Yeah.
just talking in general. And there's so many people that are very talented, never get a shot because they don't do the right thing. They don't go the right path. They don't meet the right people. So there are so many even talented actors here. They never get a shot. So I'm just saying.
Because they don't do the things that they need to do properly. He did. He spent 12 years work, like, you know what I'm saying? Yes, it's a fucking video game. But he sat down, took the time out of his day. He still, like he said, he went to school, he worked, etc. He did all of these things. He really locked in on what he wanted to do, got good at it. Literally, like you said, he's he was number 4 in the world at the thing he was doing. Why aren't these people, you know what I'm saying? Yes, like it's the information out here is very like skewed. You have to try to find the proper information, the right things, etc. But to sit here and say that like, oh, because you got a shot, you're lucky that you even got a shot, is like, yeah, again, like you said, even everybody is lucky to an extent, at some degree. But as far as creating content, like the percentage of people who actually like can live off the content, like, you know what I'm saying, off of content or whatever, is very like low. It's very low.
It's pure luck.
It wasn't luck. I just saw an opportunity and just genuinely took it. It wasn't a handout. It was simply just, you know what, I'm talented at Call of Duty. This is what I want to do. It took me 8 years to make it a career. Is there something funny?
Yeah, she been laughing.
It's a freaking video game.
It's a talent.
Permission to dick ride? Hey, he's
Bro, this
made
nigga
tens of millions of
Rod.
dollars playing video games, so.
Exactly, that's that privilege.
It's not a privilege. Okay, yes, it's a privilege to play a game professionally, etc. To like now, but like you still don't, like, it's not like a privilege as far as like you can't just you're not given this money just to like play the game. That's not like anybody who played. It's hella niggas who play the game who want to play the game professionally or whatever that don't get paid at all. You have to get to that certain point to where you can get paid from it. So it's like,
But I'm saying though, you couldn't hop on a game and
couldn't
do
do
what
it.
I
You-
do.
you couldn't do
That's
it.
a skill.
Your son couldn't do it. Your grandkids couldn't do it.
Some people
Your
can't.
son's grandkids could never do it. They could never do it.
Anything that takes a talent.
The genes are done. They can't do it. They can't.
How many hours a day did you spend?
When I was younger?
Yeah, when you were younger.
Oh, I would wake up 3 hours before school. So I would wake up at 4 a.m. and I would play before school. Bus would come at 7. I go to home, come back, and do it again. I was 16. What's funny?
See, there's a disconnect here, because to you guys, when you guys were growing up, yes, it was just video games, it was whatever. But when we were coming up, we're like, wait, maybe we can make this career. Maybe if we get good enough at it and we create.
Do you not
good
think
enough
do you not
content,
think if you're talented at
maybe.
something, it's a God-given gift?
Video games is not like
You don't think you don't think it's talent.
You're just too old to understand.
That's it's just, I can't argue that because
Y'all could never play FNCS
that's,
either.
that's,
It's the same
true
shit.
though. That's true though. Like your ideology is to where like it's so because you grew up knowing one thing for so long that to try to like change your view on it is very difficult. Like they say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. It's all end up the same. It's like similar. Like you can't like try to like me trying to explain to someone of older stature that I can play the game now and it's a skill now and I can get paid from it now. Like Cause back then when y'all was playing games, you was just playing the game. Like there was no like esports and stuff like that. Now there are opportunities to where I can like turn this into a career, and not anybody could just play the game and be like a top person at the game and just like, you know what I'm saying? It takes weird. I don't know what to say. It takes a genuine like amount of dedication and time and effort that goes into playing a game to make it your career or whatever the case may be, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah.
Look, there's a disconnect. You come from a generation where this didn't exist. This career, you looked at this career and you laughed. Now, how come in colleges they're teaching courses on content creation and esports? When you grew up, this didn't exist. So no wonder you're gonna laugh when you hear this shit, because you're from a completely different generation. You just don't get it, and I don't know if you ever will be able to wrap your head around it.
And it's fun. But it's like, again,
it's okay.
you gotta fight back.
That's
You gotta
okay.
fight back. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice meeting you.
I'm Ronnie.
Ronnie, nice to
This
meet you.
past-
My name's Ronnie.
You were talking about job security. Are you familiar with layoffs, with being furloughed? Like, taking
We
it back
fall
to...
off.
That's being... What? What does that even mean?
You lose everything.
I get what she's saying about like, yes, there are like certain job fields where like, hey, if something happens, or really almost any job, basically, like, hey, we're making cuts, you know what I'm saying, we can't keep you here, we have to, you know what I'm saying, we got to let you go. They are now, that security has been stripping, it has been taken from you. But then you can also just go and get another job. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's obviously not as simple as just going to get another job, but it kind of is. As far as like, let's say you're streaming, if you fall off, if you can get back up, then that's like a hard ass task in and of itself. But a lot of niggas who fall off, it's fucking GG's. Like, you have to like find something else to do or try to pivot or whatever the case may be, because it's not the same. You can't just go back and go get another, like, you know what I'm saying? You can't just start another stream and, you know what I'm saying? But, excuse me. But layoffs is like, yeah, I get what she's saying.
Every dollar, everything. You lose everything.
Okay, and then you can rebuild yourself back. You
The same way you can do if you get laid off. You get a
Yeah,
new
that's
job.
it's kind
okay.
of is it not the same concept? Like,
I don't know. Back in 2020, when everybody was getting furloughed, everybody was like, oh, let me go to social media. That's kind of an easy alternative. So that seems kind of easy.
But are all of those niggas still doing social media? Are all those people social media influencers now? A lot of them are. Like, there are a lot of people who became influencers, or like their careers heightened, like, or grew for real off of like the whole COVID-19 thing or whatever. But it's a lot of niggas who was doing content at that time. Majority of the niggas who was doing content at that time do not. They either don't do content no more, or like it's not, or it's still to this day not like a career for them. Like, they still might be attempting to build a career off of it or whatever, or they might just now do it as a hobby.
I know, but if you lose a job, you can't.
You just get another
No,
one?
you can search for. You have an opportunity to search for another one. No?
Okay, I've been searching for another one for 10 months. I interview every day, give the same spiel,
Okay, so who fault did that?
have to give that smile of walking through my
I uploaded
resume.
videos for 7 years and barely got any views.
And
It's
you
just-
wait,
it's-
you
it's-
uploaded 7 videos and,
And
didn't get any views
went to school, and still.
and paid rent?
Yes, I still worked. I worked
Oh, so that you had another job.
as a parking attendant. Yes.
Okay, and was that harder
Then what?
than streaming?
No, I was on my phone all the time.
Oh, as a parking attendant, that doesn't sound like you were doing a very good job.
I was chilling.
You were chilling. You weren't
I was-
doing a good job.
waiting for.
Yeah, when cars park, they're done. Like, it doesn't.
Okay.
I don't have to.
Well,
I'm not security.
that's
I just
a
go.
one nine
I go
to
like this. I go
five.
like this. Yo, right there. I bet. Do you think an aspect of a video game, playing video games, is a talent?
I would say it's a skill. I wouldn't call it a talent. You can
It's the same thing.
master it with, my
Ooh,
sorry,
But people
my
play.
nephew.
Millions play video games, but there are very few people who are genuinely gifted at it.
Gifted? What are they, Mozart?
How is it not a talent? Why is it not a talent what he does?
You know what? I'm open to it being a talent. I think it's a skill. I think it's something you can master. I don't think you're a Mozart, that you have this gift of like, whoa, when I put my thumb here and this thumb there and do this combo, I do this
You'd be
flip.
surprised. I mean, there's people out there who are.
I was gonna say, I ain't gonna lie. a regular nigga playing a skilled nigga at a video game, you understand, gang. It's that shit's not the it's not the same, bro. Like niggas are actually gifted at playing like video games. Like that's an actual thing.
Genuinely,
That they have their opposable
the
thumbs
most
like
gifted-
so good.
That's like saying, here's a paintbrush, go paint me Picasso.
Yeah,
like, what?
I'm saying this is so hard. If there's certain games that have $1 million prize pools, if there's a skill you could just learn and you're looking for a job for 10 months, go pick up a controller and go hop in this.
Facts. If you've been looking for a job for 10 months, for some reason can't get one, and you saying that playing a game is not a skill, it's not that hard, it's not a gift, a talent, nigga, go pick up a controller, go become a gamer, go lock in. It's prize pools that's for $2 million, $5 million, $10 million, etc. Go get that. Go get some
$1
bread.
million
nigga.
tournament.
You
and
could
win
never.
it.
You couldn't.
Perhaps.
You couldn't. You couldn't.
Perhaps.
You wouldn't even. You couldn't. You couldn't.
You wouldn't even qualify.
You couldn't.
What do you mean I
wouldn't even
You can't even find your
qualify.
OBS stream key. Stop playing.
I need to work for it,
I know,
but
Yeah.
So like, but you're dismissing what he does. You're just dismissing. Like,
I'm not
oh,
dismissing. I'm saying
it's
that's
not a
easy.
skill. It's not a talent.
I
Like,
said it's a skill.
it's
I
easy.
didn't say it's a talent. I said it's a skill. It's a skill that
But
you
how
can
do you
hone and
how do you
can
know
master.
how do you know if it's easy if you haven't done it? Like if you
I
don't.
played Mario Kart. I've played other games.
Not a professional level though.
If you
No,
got
not a professional level because that's not what I'm trying to pursue.
Okay, so what the fuck are we talking about?
No, so but you don't understand what it takes to be on that sort of level. So how can you try to dismiss it and say it's yours is harder?
What
How
does-
do you know?
what
how
does
do
it
you
take
know?
to be on that
Because
level?
I've worked at 9 to 5.
Yeah. What
so
does it take to be on that level?
Just gift, and you got to play all
Just
the time.
gift?
Tens of thousands of hours of work
Uh-huh.
and editing and filming and constantly.
I'm just
having
talking
to
about pure
innovate and
skill. As far as like the
reinvent
videos and stuff like that, just off pure skill.
I had to
did-
put tens of thousands of hours
Could you get a
into my
refresh second
studies.
zone tarping? Could you?
I have no idea what you said.
Could you get a refresh going into second zone with no mats? Can you get a refresh on the best players? You
I
couldn't.
can also put. I can circle back and give
Do
you
you know how to
different
short launch
terms
pad?
from
When you're
my
trying to get to third
industries.
zone, third moving. Do you know
I
how to
don't know
short?
No,
launch
I
it?
don't. But
Exactly,
if I want,
you couldn't, but Excel sheet, we can do Excel sheet.
no, but exactly. I
They're
can
just talking. They're just talking game.
These
with them.
refreshes
As a
don't come to
babysitter,
you.
I can talk to you about the
Yeah,
different
niggas
things
is
I do and
waffling.
ask you, could you do that? No, but if you wanted to, you would.
If us four
Put on
took,
brace.
took 3 days, you don't think we can master an Excel sheet?
Oh,
And but let me give you. If I give you 3 days about a video game, do you think you could be that talented as me?
if I wanted to, I would.
So let's pay for her, whatever it is.
Pay,
Give you 3
please.
days, but if you lose, you got to give us it back in double.
No.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
not how it works.
Yeah.
You pay me,
Nah, these
I'm
niggas is
done.
fuck it. Each 9 to 5 worker will not give their final thoughts on the streaming. Okay.
I would say, in a sense, yes, because you have to put in the work and you got to be on 24/7.
It's difficult to answer that question for us, I think, because we didn't come up in this time frame.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
Like, I don't think they got the proper people for this debate because a lot of these people, like, their opinions are obviously like biased and skewed because when they were coming up, nigga, none of this shit was really a thing. Like the internet is still brand fucking new. Like I don't think niggas understand that the internet hasn't really been along that long. Hasn't been around that long.
Technology is totally different now, because we were just talking about playing tic-tac-toe on the sidewalk with chalk.
That's what I'm saying. Like niggas was doing that. Niggas wasn't on a phone or like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas had pagers and shit and like landlines, but like they didn't have like cellular devices where they could just have a phone anywhere they go. It's a mini computer in your pocket. You had like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't the
appreciate
same.
and respect what they do, and I think that's the consensus for most of us, that we appreciate and respect where they are. But it's not, what we did was, we just feel like what we did was harder. And that's what I think.
That's just, yeah.
My mind was changed in the sense that now I'm even more convinced that normal jobs are harder.
W fucking video though. W fucking video. Yeah, this debate, like it was definitely like, I don't think that, you know what I'm saying, everybody was necessarily taking it serious. Like, of course, like, you know what I'm saying, we trolling.